Och nu är jag både stolt och glad att kunna presentera vår koncernchef som har sitt fulla fokus i månen. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Steve Ballmer.
Well, thanks. It is a real honor and privilege for me to have a chance to be here with you this morning. Hopefully we'll have a lively session. I'm going to take the opportunity to share a few thoughts. Hopefully we can open your eyes a little bit to some new possibilities with the demonstration. And I'm really looking forward to a discussion with our panelists here today. In keeping with the theme here of shifts and opportunities, I really want to start with just a statement of optimism about the future. The amount of innovation, the change, the positive energy and creativity that will come out of our company and of our industry over the next 5 and 10 years is amazing. And we are all privileged in some senses and lucky to have been born at a time where we can literally do so much technologically to remake the world. And it's fun to have a chance to continue to be in the middle of all of that right now. As many people in many quarters are talking about what's going to happen and uncertainty in the economy, the one thing we do know for sure is that jobs will be created in the technology sector because of that innovation, and that advances in technology will help to fuel important advances in other industries as the quality of healthcare and education, the speed of scientific discovery, the quality of marketing and financial services will all be built upon advances in information technology. So to all of you, I say thank you for the business that we do together today. We've got a lot of great customers and partners in the audience. And to all of you, I'll also say in advance, thanks for all the great business we will do as we move to the future. We have areas of strength where I'm sure we'll continue to work together. We've got areas where we're bringing exciting new products like our new generation of Windows phones to market, and I trust we will work together. But I want to say thanks to everybody very, very much, whether you are a customer or you are one of our 250,000 business partners in Europe who happen to be with us here today. I want to say thanks very much to all of you for your help and your support. Today's discussion will center around the so-called cloud. And we talk a lot in our business about the cloud. Cloud, 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 cloud. What is the cloud? I gave a speech in May. We had about 100 CEOs and maybe a handful of journalists in an audience at our headquarters in Seattle. And I got up there and I did what I thought was my very best work describing the cloud. And then everybody sat very politely and quietly afterward. And finally, one of the journalists raises her hand. And she said, Steve, I understand you got a lot of enthusiasm for the cloud. Absolutely, I do, I said. And I said, what's your question? She said, I still don't really understand what it is. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of a shot at it, not so much by trying to pick any one technology and saying it's the cloud, or any one business model and saying it's the cloud. The cloud is kind of a term we use in our industry to describe the general remaking of the way information technology works, from a world in which most computing has been done either in businesses or on PCs, to a world in which computing is as likely to be done out in the internet as it is inside a corporation's boundaries. It's as likely to be done on a phone or a TV-style device as it is to be done on a PC. And it is as likely to be balanced, taking advantage of the full resources and information of the world, as it is only the specific knowledge that any one person or organization may have. And that transformation is the cloud transformation. And it's got a lot of moving technical pieces and a lot of new business model opportunities. You know, when we talk about the cloud typically, we will say to many of you as business people, bring your information, your IT infrastructure, and allow us to operate it in our data center. Or at least take the same modern technologies that we are using in our data centers on the internet and put it into your data centers. So there are new opportunities brought by the cloud. Our historic relationship with many of your companies ended the day we gave you a DVD with our software on it. In the world of the cloud, it can become part of our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week job to be running the applications and services that you use to run your business. Of course, with that comes a new set of responsibilities. We have to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have to be able to protect the privacy and security of your information. As individuals as well as businesses, we have to be able to protect those perfectly. So the cloud, this transformation, brings new opportunities and responsibilities for vendors, customers alike. When we talk about the cloud, one of the things people like to slip to most quickly is that the cloud somehow is just about the business model change. Move something from your data center to ours and pay us every day by the glass, so to speak, as opposed to simply by software. And yet the cloud, as much as anything, is also about a new set of capabilities. The cloud can learn. The cloud can pick up information. It doesn't just know about you, and it may not just even have the data about you and your business. The cloud has access to the whole world's information, again, with appropriate protection for privacy and the like. But when you ask the cloud a question, you will expect it to answer the question knowing everything it can about the world at large. So if I ask, I don't know, show me sales of Microsoft Office, I really probably want to be able to say, show me sales by Microsoft Office by country, by GDP growth in that country. Now, the truth of the matter is some of that information may come from the cloud, but the cloud is a learning entity. It knows, it indexes all of the world's information. It indexes all it can about the world's people. And it helps you find things and take action professionally and personally you would not otherwise take. The cloud will also learn about you. It can learn about your preferences, what you've done in the past, what you've queried. Again, all with appropriate privacy connotations. But the cloud is not just a new business model. The cloud is an additional set of opportunities to write exciting software that have a learning characteristic about them. The cloud is a place where we'll also write programs that from the get-go think not just about individuals or even companies, but think about collections of people who want to enhance their personal and personal and professional interactions. We talk a lot today about social networking. But if you really sit there and study what's going on in the world of social networks, it's fantastic, but still way underexploited. The ability to use the cloud to help us connect more is very high. If I wanted to very quickly, for example, today, put up a little website for me, for perhaps some of our business partners and customers to work together on a project to implement their cloud implementation, that is not as easy as it ought to be today. You wouldn't go do that on Facebook. It's not the appropriate set of tools. How would that come together? If I wanted to quickly put together a site where all of the people involved at Microsoft in working with Ericsson, plus all of the people at Ericsson who are working with Microsoft, could come together and talk about opportunities and the like, that is still not the easiest thing in the world to do. This meeting, I think we're glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm here. But this meeting's still not the same if I'm not here physically. The cloud could help make this as good virtually as it is in reality. In fact, there's a lot of things the cloud could do that are better than what we're able to do in this room. I can't really see the person who's in the 6th or 7th row in the upper deck here in the Chinese theater. Of course, if I had my little virtual webcam, then we could have a different kind of a meeting. But it would lose humanity today. It's an area of investment for us. The cloud will drive changes in the way we think about server hardware and client hardware, server software and client software. Everything needs to evolve to assume that it's interacting in this new model. The server platform has to be upgraded to assume that things are going to be out on the internet, whether they're in your data center or ours. The way we construct data centers will get more efficient because things in the cloud have higher scale. They are disaster recovery proof from the get-go. You need to write applications that really know how to fail over and use hardware more economically. So hardware and software for the server will upgrade, and hardware and software for the client. So there's a lot of fantastic innovation possibilities from the vendor community all the way through to the applications that each and every one of you are engaged in today. One of the ways I think is perhaps best to get you to think about the changes that are happening around the cloud and particularly what's going on in the client is the investment and innovation that our company is putting into Internet Explorer. Internet Explorer is the #1 browser on the planet. We've had a lot of competition. It's an interesting category, internet browsing, because in a sense it has no independent business model, and yet everybody understands it's one of the most fundamental starting points for internet journeys. And so when we talk about new client hardware and software, we're not talking about clients turning away from the internet and from standards. We're talking about new ways in which clients, phones, PCs, and TVs can embrace the cloud, but bring the benefit of intelligence on the device and the advantages of intelligence in the cloud together. And that's really what we've done with Internet Explorer 9. It's in beta, but it's a very wide open beta. I encourage you to download Internet Explorer 9. I've given it the ultimate test. I put it on my wife's PC, for which I am the help desk manager. So far, I've got nothing but praises and compliments, so I do encourage you to try it. But we thought we'd show you a little bit of what you get when you bring together the best of the smart client with the best of HTML standards and the cloud. And to help me do that, I want to invite Michael Bohlin up on stage, who will do a bit of a demonstration. Please welcome Michael.
Thank you, Steve.